Morgan Stanley out with a list of their 30 best long-term stock picks based on what they see as competitive advantage, pricing power, future growth into 2021. Some of them may be obvious to you. We've talked about some of them already. Alphabet, Amazon, so we don't need to give you the trades on those again. Netflix is on that list. Microsoft, you guys have made the case there. How about Nike? Earnings next week, so a good chance to talk about that ahead of it. Is this a good pick for the long term?
I like Nike just because of the international exposure. We always talk about that. And last quarter, when they delivered, the one thing everybody didn't anticipate was how well they did in China, right? I mean, that was part of the big part of that story. I personally prefer Lulu over Nike, but that's just for a variety of other reasons. But I think Nike's great. And when you look at it, it does trade. Now, people have to understand the valuation level of Nike has gotten a little bit higher because the stock performance has been so great. So for me, I think there are better growth areas to go to. But the one name that did stand out for me, Scott, Home Depot. I totally agree. I think they can continue to crush it. When I look at that list, that's one of the names I own. And on the pullback, that's where I own it, and I continue to own it.
Back to Nike, this is one of the only consumer stocks that's above its September highs, and it actually just retested successfully. It is now within 50 cents to $1 of breaking out into an all-time high. I think this is a $100 stock.
All right, Bank of America on the list is the only big financial that we talk about on any sort of regular basis. What do you guys make of that?
I'm surprised that J.P. Morgan is not on the list. I think
it's just valuation.
Yeah. I think J.P. Morgan should be on the list. I also see Visa on the list. I would go PayPal instead. PayPal finally above $100. And I'm surprised you don't see any Apple on the list. And also, we're really deficient here in an industrial. How about Honeywell? How about Cat?
It's clearly a call that they're making.
That's a call in the economy too, right? Growth.
Right. They're going growth.
Right.
So.
Especially if you think that there could be a recession in 20, any part of 20 or towards 21. You're not going to go so heavily cyclical, are you?
No.
To Joe's point.
You know what's interesting? That the banks, digress for a second, the banks are Citi, B of A, they're up today, and they're having good moves despite the 10-year trading lower. So maybe that relationship's broken down.
Hey, what about McDonald's? What about McDonald's before we go?
That's a good call.
We don't have any exposure to the restaurants in McDonald's. I would say, again, kind of a play on a global economy, if you will, and growth internationally for this name. Not something that we own, though.
All right. I have a lot of exposure to the restaurants, but personally, not financially.
This is a stock show, not a cooking show.
That was perfect.
Just from the guy who complains when we give him all those stories.
That was great.